Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hi, Ricky. Thank you so much for joining us. And welcome to new friends and old friends. We're very happy to see everybody here today. Yes, we're going to start very shortly. We're just going to let a couple of people come in. Wow. How is everybody doing? So thank you everybody for checking in with me. I am feeling much better. I haven't been coughing so much. It's been much better, so that's nice. Okay, so we're gonna start, and as we go through the sharing, if anybody has questions, just drop your questions into the chat group, and then I will try to answer every single one of them as soon as I can. And sometimes when you ask the question, the answer comes a little bit later, even as we continue to share. All right, so today's Ascension call has been inspired by a massage that I had a week ago, approximately a week ago. And if you had seen my Instagram post, I was sharing that I haven't had a massage for 3 months. And my body really felt very, very uncomfortable, but I wasn't really sure what it was all about. So I had asked the lady to come in, and she proceeded to do the massage. And then I had this rather profound session, one that I haven't had before. So the biggest difference, I would say, was because I had gone into my Akashic Records with no expectations. I just went in and I thought, well, I'm going to try to experience and see where this takes me. I've done it before, but for quite a while, I haven't tried it. So anyways, I went into my Akashic Records. There wasn't anything much happening until about, I think, 30 minutes into the massage. So by the way, it's a 2-hour massage. So 30 minutes into the massage, I suddenly felt like I was, just floating. I was really floating. And I was sensing a lot of release happening, emotional release taking place. And I haven't experienced this in a long time. The last time I had experienced this was in a yin yoga class. And the first pose, I had started to cry. And so that was interesting. But I haven't experienced this before. So 30 minutes into the massage, I started feeling very emotional. And then the connection happened. So this connection was with my lymphatic system. And just so happened, she actually was doing a lymphatic massage. It didn't occur to me at that time, but I was sensing this connection with the lymphatic system, and then within the lymphatic system held the emotional body. So as we all know, the lymphatic system is responsible for removing the toxins and removing the excess fluids in our body. And it ties in very much with the spleen as well as the liver. And so when I was going through this, I had this profound awareness of how connected our lymphatic system and our emotional body actually had. So then the massage continued, and I just sat, light. I was lying there, and the transmission just continued on. So if we can just take a moment now. So I need you to feel this in your body so that it makes more sense. And you can also replicate this. At the end of the class, I will give some tips on how you can help to regulate your lymphatic system, which will eventually help the nervous system. So because, you know, now it's quite popular that we have a lot of methods to help the nervous system come back into balance, into a state of equilibrium. However, if we just focus on the nervous system, it's not going to be as effective. It will still be effective with all the methods that is available now, but there is a small disconnect, which is how the lymphatic system is actually very, very closely related to the emotional body. So if you would all just join me in any way that you feel comfortable, you can do this with your eyes open or your eyes closed. And if you feel like it, you can even lie down. So just taking a deep breath first into the body and allowing that breath to just land straight into the body, wherever it wants to go. When we work with the body, it has to be as organic as possible because each of us has a different and very unique physical body, which connects into the energetic body. So that is what makes the difference. Our energetic body is actually different from every person. You and me will be completely different. Our chakras will all be kind of structured differently. And so that is where the energy body begins. Okay, so the energy body begins there and then connects into all the organs and then connects into all the systems. So as we take a deep breath in and just let that breath land into any part of the body. And don't think about whether you're doing this right or wrong, because you can't do it wrong. Just taking that deep breath in. And then allow yourself another deep breath in. Allow the exhale to be really long and slow. So if you can manage 6 breaths at the count of 6, breathing in and then exhaling out at a count of 6, or even much longer, will be very beneficial for the brain to really slow down the brain. And allowing the body to feel so much more at ease. And here we are not deliberately looking out for any trauma. And just observe the natural breath. Keep going. And taking all the awareness just into the body. And just staying there. And start to tune into your lymphatic system. By just setting an intention and saying to the self, I'm now connecting into my beautiful lymphatic system. And just noticing how this lymphatic system is actually running throughout the entire body. As you do that, you realize that there are many stops in between, and these are your lymph nodes. The lymph nodes start to process emotions as they come in. This entire system that is made up of water, primarily water or plasma, is the vehicle that carries all of your emotions, the pleasant and the not so pleasant ones. And the lymph nodes are the different stations where they pass by, where your emotions will pass by, and the lymph nodes begin to detoxify. It starts to filter out which ones to keep and which ones to release. And the lymphatic system is actually a very, very slow system. It is not fast. It is also very connected to the nervous system. So there is a common saying that goes like this: when your lymphatic system is working well, you will feel light. Now, this lightness we can interpret as feeling joyful and feeling at peace, not feeling anxious. And so the lymphatic system also influences the mind. Whether the mind is constantly thinking, worrying, and having looping thoughts. So as you are tuning into your lymphatic system, you will realize that it is actually doing a lot of work for us, not just on a physical level, but also on an emotional level. And while we are tuning deep into the body, the lymphatic system has two parts. One is the physical aspect, and the other is the energetic aspect. So both of which we have to learn how to maintain its balance. The lymphatic system is also very closely governed by the moon and the planet Venus. So these two planets have a profound effect on our lymphatic system. The planets and the universe is able to affect the body, but not the other way around. So we're going to go a little bit deeper now and try to now connect with Mother Moon. As your thoughts and intentions float to the moon, and simply observe how her energies are playing out in your body, in your lymphatic system. And this applies to both men and both women. As we work on this system, we also want to actively or consciously, with full awareness, connecting the energetic lymphatic system into the moon. So just visualize Mother Moon, and she's sending down her wonderful rays of light into your body. And the system that's going to draw in all her energy and her frequencies, her wisdom, her love, is actually the lymphatic system. And so Venus has a similar effect on our lymphatic system. If we just connect also into Venus, and if you just think of these two planets, your lymphatic system will start to resonate. Okay, so different parts of the body and different organs will resonate with different planets. So feeling that inside of the body and just enjoy the process. And then through the soles of the feet, you will feel that release taking place out through the soles of the feet. If there are any emotions that are currently stuck or feeling this, stagnant inside the body, inside the lymphatic system, it's gonna all be drained out right now. And some will experience it slightly differently. Some of you may experience a heart opening and a release taking place at the same time. This can be a little overwhelming for some people if you actually have a lot of stuck emotions held within the lymphatic system that, of course, we are not aware of. And that's okay. So if you are feeling overwhelmed at this point, you can simply open your eyes and bring yourself back into the moment, and then continue on with this practice at another time. So as a lymphatic system on an energetic portion and also on a physical body, they work together. This is the connection from the cosmos that's coming in. In order to complete this cycle, the lymphatic system also has a connection with Mother Earth, but not just Mother Earth. This system is connected to the waters that's being held in Mother Earth. So that will be the rivers, the lakes, the ocean. And if we go a little bit deeper, it's also connected to elemental energies and to the plant kingdom. So this is a deep inner earth plant kingdom that we are talking about here. So that's where all the roots are, that's underground. So this process is natural and organic. When you connect to the stars, connecting into the lymphatic system, after a while, it will naturally connect into the waters of Mother Earth. The deeper you go into this practice, the deeper you go into the waters. And that's where you're being held in this place of peace and lightness. And this feeling that you are just simply floating. You're not sinking, but you're floating in this body of water. And within this body of water, you're going to feel all the emotions that you're carrying. And the emotions that you feel can be your fears. It can carry your anger, your frustrations, your bitterness, your resentment, but it will also carry your love, your power, and above all of your light. The reason why the lymphatic system connects into the emotional body is because this system, as it comes together, carries all our light and eventually extends out into the light body. Just take a couple more deep breaths here. Our breath is so important to anchor this experience, to help us feel safe in the body. A deep breath and an intentional exhale is going to help the healing process and the release process to take place with so much ease and so much grace. Healing does not need to be difficult. And this is one of the major takeaways that I experienced last week, which is healing does not need to be difficult. As we continue to explore the magic of the body, it is amazing how the body was created, not just for us to function on earth and to stay alive, but it's really to help us heal and to come into our power. And we can do all that without even working with the body. But if we do work with the body, it makes everything move along much faster and so much more amazing and so much more magical. So we're moving into times where the intention to work with the body, to unite, to come into union with the physical body is now. More than ever. This has taken momentum, right? Over the years, people have spoken about the importance of the physical body and how it is so much more than just, we are so much more than flesh and blood. Our body has a purpose, and the purpose is to take us into ascension. Now, this ascension does not mean you have to be an enlightened being, a monk, a nun, or become this religious person. It does not mean that. It just means, ascension means the mastery of the self. And the fundamental understanding that we are first made up not just of the body, but the body contains the spirit, the emotions, and the mind. And so when we truly connect into the body and begin to understand the mysteries of the physical body, this is when healing truly takes place, understanding of the self takes place, and then your life on the external, your reality on the external begins to change, shift into something wonderful every day on a daily basis. Okay? And the realizations that come to you can be very subtle. So ever since that day when I had this experience, I would say that I have managed to unconsciously, not intentionally at all. It was just the most organic process that took place for me, which I just realized yesterday. I realized more of it yesterday, that I am simply not as triggered as before. So if anything were to trigger me, let's just call that at 100%. Now I'm probably only triggered at 5% or not even being triggered at all. And I understand that this is taking place because of this connection that I've made with my lymphatic system and emotional body. And it's as simple as that. It's just an awareness that we have. It didn't take me 3 months. It didn't take me a whole lot of exercises or having to change my diet or drinking a lot of water or moving a lot or doing yoga. It didn't have to take any of that. I didn't have to do any of that. All I had to do was, when I experienced that, I just completely embraced it. And so when I decided I was going to do this call, I was not experiencing this peace. We'll just call it peace, okay? I hadn't experienced this peace, but I was very excited to share what I had discovered. Not just the connection that the lymphatic had with the emotional body, but also this connection that it had with the entire cosmos and then Mother Earth. And I want to share this because I know that this will be an activation for everybody that's listening into this as well. So it's such a powerful system that once we come into this realization, even feelings and frequencies that you're firstly not aware of, or secondly, you had some resistance to releasing, is all going to be released now. And so I would like you to tell yourself now, say it in your heart or say it out loud, I am enjoying this release. I am grateful and I'm enjoying this release and magic that I am experiencing now. And we call this quantum healing. In quantum healing, there is very little to do other than to surrender. That is when the healing takes place really, really quickly. But not just healing, you also gain a lot of clarity and wisdom. So that's the other thing that I noticed about myself. My mind became sharper. I wasn't as forgetful. And things I had to remember and had to do would suddenly come back to me, which in that moment was a little bit shocking. But then when I got over it, I was like, wow, I'm feeling more normal now. I feel I'm functioning not as a normal human being. Because I used to be quite forgetful. And then us being empaths, right? We feel a lot. What we feel, we are able to take on. And if the lymphatic system and the chakras are healthy and working well, it will start to filter out all these emotions that we feel within the collective, or say with our friends or with our family members. It will start to filter all that out, and it doesn't stagnate inside the body. But sometimes we hold certain beliefs that tell us when we experience certain energies, the energies will stay within us. And so over time, we are just being filled with all these different emotions and feelings. And a lot of it, I would say 80% of it, does not belong to us, which means we took it on from somebody else. We took it on because we read something, or we watched something online, or we had a conversation with a friend and she wasn't feeling great and he was feeling sad, and we take all that on because we were not taught how to effectively release energies and emotions at the end of the day. And second, we have some old beliefs that we held on to. And so after a while, the body just cannot function in its most organic way, all on its own. It needs help, it needs assistance. At the same time, the lymphatic system, although it is a very slow moving system, it keeps its movement and rhythm when we have adequate movement. We must be moving every single day. We must be active. Okay. So for most of us, we have very always on the phone, just sitting at the desk with our laptop, not really moving a lot. But what sort of movement does the lymphatic system enjoy? What sort of movement does the lymphatic system benefit from? The lymphatic system loves it when we take walks. Slow, mindful walks. And it can be a little bit fast-paced, that's okay as well. And the lymphatic system really loves water. So if you go dip yourself in the pool or in the sea or swim, the lymphatic system really, really loves it. That immediately brings the movement and the rhythm of the lymphatic system back into harmony. So swimming is a really, really good one because it allows the entire body to move, but it's so gentle on the joints. Okay, and that resonance of the external water with the internal water inside of us just sets everything moving. The other thing that the lymphatic system really likes, because it is a water element, it likes fire. Okay, it likes fire a lot because when there is fire and there is water, and when the fire comes in, it starts to boil the water, which then releases steam. And the steam is the alchemical process that takes place as a form of release and healing for all emotions that no longer serve, any toxins. So this process is also going to benefit you on a physical level. Why do we say that? Because all diseases and illnesses stem from stagnant emotions and stagnant energies within us. So when we introduce fire, what is this fire? Fire would simply mean a more active kind of activity that you would do. Say short sprints, running, a more vigorous form of yoga where you are actually able to perspire. Okay, when you perspire, that is the steam that is taking place. The water inside the body is able to release, but on an energetic level, we see that as steam, and that is alchemizing, releasing the emotions. Another way would, of course, to be doing lymphatic massage with this consciousness, with this intention, that it also really connects into your emotional body. And when you are enjoying the massage, you are also setting an intention that all emotions that are stagnant to be released in this process. So that was what happened for me. But because I was in this expanded state of awareness, I was then able to go really deep into the process. Okay? So either ways, as long as you hold an intention, because now you're aware of this truth and how our body works on this level, an intention is really, really helpful as well. And my body showed me one other thing. Another way of helping the lymphatic system is also to get a mini trampoline. So these mini trampolines are now available, I think, everywhere, and you can just place them at home. And it's easy for you to get onto the trampoline and start bouncing. Slow bouncing, nothing too vigorous, for about 15 minutes a day. It really helps to relax you. It helps to activate the lymphatic system that is stagnant, that is slow. It also helps to bring balance and relaxation into the nervous system. So that's like a two-in-one. And just any other part of the body that is stagnant, right? Even the metabolic rate. If your metabolic rate is sluggish, the bouncing will help. This mini little trampoline. Also, again, very gentle on the joints. And I always say this because my guides have told me before, when we choose an exercise to do, we should choose one that is sustainable. What this means is we should be able to do this exercise safely for our physical body, even when we reach 60, 70, or 80. So what they were trying to teach me is that whatever exercise that you choose to do, it should be gentle on the body. It shouldn't be hurting your joints. Like running is actually not so ideal. Not in the long term. Okay. So all the gentle exercises really do us so much good in the long term, right? Now, of course, if you like yoga, then yin yoga is also very, very effective for releasing emotions and also motivating the lymphatic system and regulating the nervous system. Okay, so we've just been in our lymphatic system connecting with our body for 45 minutes now. How is everybody feeling? At this point, if you have any questions, you can ask as well to clarify. So when you're doing this alone at home, you want to stay in this practice for as long as you can, as long as it's enjoyable for you. Stay in it for as long as you can. Ideally, about 20 to 30 minutes would be very good. And then throughout the day, you would still want to be connecting to your lymphatic system and to the water in your body. at the same time, you will be connecting to your emotional body. What we used to do is we will always just be connecting into the emotional body. But truthfully, that can still be not as effective as we would want it to be, right? We would just be tuning into the emotion, tuning into the heart, into the emotional body. And then sometimes we will say, well, let's just release this emotion that is here that's making me feel really uncomfortable, angry or sad, and nothing really moves. I don't know if you guys have ever experienced that, but from time to time I do. And then after a while, we forget about it, and then it starts to layer inside the body. Okay? It starts to layer and it starts to become stagnant. And then after a while, we will start to experience aches and pains, and then eventually, after several years, some form of a disease. It all stems from there. So I've experienced that several times in my life, stagnation of energy turning into an uncomfortable place in the body, and also some diseases as well. Energy stuck in the stomach. That's how we will get constipation. We will feel that we can't be creative. We'll just have, like, for women, we will have issues in the womb, we will have issues with our menstrual cycle, we will have issues in the breast, and men will also have issues when we have stagnant energy, stagnant emotions, difficulty with emotions, difficulty with anger, unable to express joy even, and the inability to communicate, like really to express the self fully. So if you have your eyes open now, I just want you to still stay with the body. And just observe how the body feels right now. Just overall, how does it feel? Without purposely connecting into the emotional body or the lymphatic system or the nervous system, just overall, because this is how you'll be functioning throughout the day. Say you're at work, or you're out with friends, or you're out at the mall. You want to be able to always be able to feel into the body, even when the external or your surroundings are very busy. So this is a wonderful skill to have, because at any time you're able to regulate the self. So with the eyes open, you're just tuning into the body and observing how you feel right now. Do you feel the same as when we had just started? Do you feel more relaxed? Do you feel at peace? Do you feel like everything is just very quiet? You're not really sensing too many things. You're just feeling calm. And just take a deep breath in. And as you are exhaling, I want you to gently close your eyes. And place a gentle awareness to the inner landscape. This time you begin to feel the plasma or the water in your body. And you may be able to connect into the rhythm, into the pulse, into the movement, and into the flow of the plasma inside of you. This very simple practice can take you into deep peace and stillness. This peace and stillness that you feel right now just in the body will start to flow into different areas of your life. It may flow into your work, into relationships, your relationship with the divine, your relationship even with yourself. This peace and stillness that you feel is an invitation. Is the body getting ready and an invitation for more light, more love, and more clarity to now flow into you? Because now your body is able to receive these higher frequencies, these pure frequencies. And when you start to receive this naturally into the body that's absolutely ready to embody these frequencies, it will start to trickle out into your auric fields and your light body. Then the next thing you realize is opportunities come easily to you. Nice people come easily to you. Abundance comes easily to you, and prosperity as well. But not just that, you will experience this balance in life, because too much of one thing is never good. Once you experience this balance in life, you will start to understand what contentment and gratitude is. And all this started from the body. You didn't have to go very far. You didn't have to buy tools or work with a whole bunch of things. But can you imagine if you had this awareness now and you started working with other modalities, essential oils, sound, how amazing that would be. How much more powerful that would be. So now we can just say thank you, give our gratitude to our body, to our lymphatic system, our nervous system, our emotional body. We send thanks and gratitude. Then slowly now bringing yourself back. Now knowing that you're going to come back into your space. And you're going to move slow, just like the lymphatic system. You're not going to be fast. You're going to come out of it very slowly and gently. Okay. So the next thing you will then notice is that you will start to slow down. You will start to slow down your thoughts, how you speak, how you walk, how you do things will all slow down. The mind will not think so much. Your emotions will not become dramatic. Then you have to get used to this new you, because we're also used to being very fast, active. And then all of a sudden we're becoming quiet and peaceful and slow. And we're like, what is this? It feels weird. Am I doing the right thing? Am I losing myself? What am I becoming? Because sometimes we don't know what we wish for, right? We're not sure of what we're wishing for. And when it actually happens, we're like, what is this? I'm not sure. Okay, but still, I hope that you guys enjoyed the little practice and that the body remembers what we have shared. It's not so important to remember everything in the mind. It's more about receiving the sharing, receiving it in an energetic form, allowing it to speak to the body, and you just surrendering and embracing what we have just shared. Okay, so that's all from us today, tonight. If you do have any questions, you can type that into the chat group. Or is everybody too relaxed already? I'm feeling really relaxed as well. Oh, so tomorrow is Monday. Everybody will go back to work. So you can observe if there are any changes, if there's a softening of the self, everything is going slow, and you're just being able to observe more, a less reaction. And if that happens for you, then I think it's good for you to carry on, with this practice. And then have a wonderful week. If there are no questions, have a wonderful week. Thank you, everyone. And then if you do have any questions, you can still contact me on Telegram or on Instagram, and just send me a message as well. Thank you so much for your time and your attention, your willingness to listen. Thank you. Wow, look at Zoom. It's got these big cards now. Different. All right, thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful, peaceful week ahead. Blessings to all. Bye.